Buongiorno, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a buying guide on Acro, a fragrance house that is all about our addictions, vices, indulgences, if you will, represented by a perfume. So maybe it's your morning coffee or a secret stash of chocolate hidden somewhere. I know I'm guilty of that. Or you like to express yourself by tattoos. Whatever it is, all these and much more are represented by the perfumes of Acro. Acro is a brand created by Oliver Crisp, a master perfumer who gained a lot of, I would say, fame, especially when it comes to gourmand fragrances. And there are some gourmand in his fragrance line, but it's definitely much more than that. He created this brand with his daughter. In the beginning, a lot of their fragrances were very masculine, but recently they went more into a unisex direction. Even some fragrances are leaning definitely feminine, and the recent releases got a lot of hype. So we are talking about Bake, Rise, and their latest Glow got a lot of hype. So in today's video, we are going to cover all the fragrances created by Oliver Crisp for his brand Acro, currently available, of course. So if you want to smell different, you want a unique scent, or you want to know which fragrance from Acro house is for you, then definitely keep on watching. Acro is a brand that is very, very unique, and I appreciate the craftsmanship of Oliver Crisp. Their fragrances are very representative, I would say, of all the different indulgences or vices or whatever you would call it. And they are simple, in the majority of cases, quite wearable, although quite unique scents. He took the concept and created a fragrance and stripped it down to the bones. So you have only the essential to create or to represent this concept in every fragrance in a good way. I don't mean that they are bad fragrance. Actually, I love the idea and how he worked behind every fragrance. You will see in a moment, like every single scent is very thought of, but not overly complicated. So I am definitely a fan of this fragrance house, and I have actually two fragrances and one that is on my wish list. So without further ado, let's start. Let's start with Malt. And this is for me the strangest, weirdest fragrance from the line. The first time I smelled it, I was very perplexed. I didn't understand what I am smelling, because it is the weirdest concoction you can imagine. This is a boozy marine fragrance. To be specific, a whiskey seaweed fragrance. I mean, do I have to say more? And you may be put off just by knowing that this is a boozy seaweed. But let me tell you, there is something so intriguing about this fragrance. And I'm not going to lie, this is not a safe blind buy, but I actually like the scent. It's totally masculine, by the way. And although it's a weird and unique scent, it is very wearable in my opinion and easygoing. This is what I meant, how he created a fragrance from this idea and made it very niche, unique, but very wearable, simple. And this is not an exception. It's so, so beautiful. But I have to say, this is a fragrance that you should try on your skin. Because in paper, I don't know, it just smells more weird. While on skin, it really smells pleasant. Weird, but pleasant. I don't know how to tell you. It actually has an alluring effect in it. Has moderate to strong longevity and so good performance. And I would definitely recommend this fragrance if you are looking for a boozy scent, if you are on a man. This is definitely 100% masculine. Another masculine fragrance that is extremely unique is Haze. And Haze is an absinthe mixed with mint. It's an absinthe aromatic fragrance. It's very green, but not in an earthy kind of way. Sometimes when we speak about green, It is more herbaceous, earthy. This is not it. This is green, like a neon green somehow. Mint here is absolutely beautiful. If you love minty fragrances or you love absence, you will love this one. Again, extremely unique scent. Has more of a moderate longevity and sillage. And to be honest, when I first sprayed it, I did not like it. But again, in the dry down, there's just something about it that kept me smelling it. I can't wear it because, as I said, it's totally a masculine fragrance and I don't like absence. But objectively, it is a great scent if you love the scent profile. Of course, again, not a safe blind buy. Since we talked about two masculine fragrances, let's continue with another masculine one, and it is Ink. And this is the one where I can't really see the reference to tattoos. And maybe, I don't know, I've never got a tattoo, so maybe I don't know, but I didn't get it much. It has a very obnoxious opening because you get this tar ink smell in the opening. Very off-putting for me, at least. The dry down is more of leather, although not in the notes. To me, I smell leather mixed with vetiver. And it is, in the dry down, quite an easy going leather vetiver fragrance. I'm not getting a lot of ink, a little bit of almost tar-like in the background. I don't remember the notes, but I believe there is birch, and birch does have a little bit of a tar-like smell. And again, it's totally masculine with a moderate longevity and sillage. This one, I have to say, I didn't get the hype behind because it's one of their, I believe, most hyped fragrances when it comes to masculine ones, but I didn't get it. It is nice. I'm not saying that it is a bad fragrance, but it just doesn't compare to the other fragrances from the line that are extremely unique. I can't see the uniqueness in this one. Now let's talk about smoke. And to me, this smells like an ashtray mixed with juniper berry. To me, it smells like a man who was in a room filled with people who are smoking. So you get the smell on the clothes and also a little bit of a hint of a cologne with juniper berry. So the mix between the perfume the man was wearing with the smoke that the clothes got, with the smell of the cigarettes or smoke. This is how this fragrance smells. I have also to say that on my skin I got a lot of juniper berry more than the smoke, but this may not be your experience. It will vary from skin to skin, I'm sure. But this is my personal experience. The opening is one of the most obnoxious openings I've smelled. The opening smelled like burnt tar and smoke, like smoke of a campfire, something like that. I said, oh my god, this is so bad. I have to say that in the dry down is not as bad as the opening, but I am not a fan of these kind of fragrances. I do love it more on skin than on paper, but you have to be cautious with this one and don't blind buy it. You have to test it. And as you would expect from the scent profile, this is totally masculine and has very good performance when it comes to longevity or sillage. Let's get to the two Middle Eastern fragrances or oud fragrances done by the brand. The first one is Night. And it's so funny because before testing this fragrance, I read a little bit of reviews on Fragrantica and a lot of people said it smells like BO. It has a cumin note, and this is why I don't like cumin, because it does smell like BO. And I hate fragrances that have this note for that reason. But in this case, I actually don't get the BO. And I'm not getting a lot of cumin. Now, I have to say again, on paper, I am getting more of cumin. On my skin, I almost don't get it at all. What I get is a stripped down, diluted oud fragrance. It is the most basic oud fragrance you can imagine, which makes it a very everyday versatile oud fragrance, but nothing special, I would say. And yeah, keep in mind that some people definitely smell this bio smell in this fragrance. So it's a fragrance that I would recommend if you love dry oud with a little bit of saffron, simple oud that is a little bit light, so it's not off-putting or like animalic in any way, at least for me. But I can't ignore all the reviews that said that this smells like BO, so definitely don't blind buy this one and test it. I would say a better oud is East. This is more of your typical oud. And I remember that a lot of people said when this was released that it is boring because it is a scent profile that is present in a lot of fragrances. And it is. It's just, again, a very simple, stripped down oud, but it's definitely stronger than night. And the combination here is oud and leather. Like, I can smell only oud and leather. I believe there was also ambroxan in the notes. So it's, again, like you took the concept of a Middle Eastern or oud fragrance and you made it as simple as possible. You focused on the core of what makes a Middle Eastern fragrance, and that's it. You didn't add anything else. There is a little bit of sweetness, just a fruity touch, just a hint. To me, it's unisex, definitely leaning masculine, and has, as you would expect from an oud fragrance, a strong longevity and sillage. And these were all the most masculine fragrances, I would say, from the brand. The next ones are more of Gourmand, unisex, and even some leaning feminine fragrances. Let's start with what is a very pleasant surprise for me, and it is Awake. This is a warm, sweet, slightly spicy coffee fragrance. If you love coffee, you will love this one. The opening is more of a mocha-ish, so not very coffee. I almost get like a chocolate thing, something lactonic, but just a hint, like I'm speaking about like a very, very small hint. It settles down more of a sweet, slightly spicy coffee fragrance with cardamom, and it is absolutely beautiful. As someone who doesn't like coffee in fragrances, I love coffee, but not in fragrances, I actually really enjoyed this one. I love how simple and beautiful executed this fragrance is. It's just a very, very beautiful fragrance. Highly, highly recommended. I have tested now a lot of coffee fragrances, and some were absolutely stunning, but were very masculine or were too gourmand. This is just the right balance. Just the right balance. It's so, so, so beautiful, and I really, really like. This is the one that I said that is on my wish list. It has good performance, so it's long lasting and has strong projection. You don't need a lot with Awake. Now, let's get to, I would say, a true gourmand scent, and it is dark. I don't know why people don't talk enough about this fragrance. This is a chocolate fragrance, so this speaks to me personally, definitely. As a chocolate lover, it is chocolate mixed with some coffee. I know it's not mentioned in the notes. I smell a little bit of coffee. To be specific, a spicy coffee. Like if you have melted dark chocolate and you poured just a little bit of spice coffee in it. This is how this fragrance smells to me. And I also get a very, very small hint of booziness that I get more on my skin, to be precise. This is totally unisex with good performance and moderate sillage. So it's more long lasting than projecting, and is a very, again, simple fragrance if you are looking for a niche like dark chocolate fragrance. So it's not gourmand like vanilla and sweet or sugar mixed with chocolate or fruits, like a lot of fragrances that I've tested recently. You will love this one because it's just Gourmand, but made niche-like. There's no other words on how to explain how this fragrance smells. It just smells sophisticated. A sophisticated Gourmand. Now, speaking about Gourmand, let's talk about another Gourmand. This is the one I own a bottle of, and it is Bake. If you love fragrances in the same vibe as Lira, you'll love this one. So it's lemon, vanilla, or a sweet citrusy fragrance. A sweet lemon fragrance. I just love this scent. Oh, it's so perfect for now. Just the perfect scent when it's cold, when you want to feel a little bit cozy. It's so beautiful. You can smell like the peel, like the lemon peel. You get the sugary, sweet vanilla. And I know it's called Bake, but to me it smells like a meringue cake before going into the oven. So you get more of this raw sugar mixed with the lemon zest and everything. I love it. This is my favorite from these kind of fragrances, and I'm planning on doing a video on all of the fragrances that are in the same vibe. So Lira, this one, Capri in a bottle from Kayali, Devotion from Dolce & Gabbana, Unknown Pleasures from Kerosene. All these fragrances have the same vibe, so I am planning on doing a video, so definitely stay tuned for that. Now, a fragrance that is totally tropical. And I struggle a lot with tropical fragrances because usually when I see notes like coconut, like tiare flower, I feel already nauseated when I just read the notes. Because they are very dense and heavy, I cannot wear them during summer, which is when you are supposed to wear these fragrances. There are some exceptions, and one of them is rice. This is a pina colada fragrance. So you get this pina colada, a little bit creamy pineapple, and although it has the notes that make me not like these kind of fragrances, it's done in a way that is totally beautiful and wearable for me. Maybe not in the heat of the summer, but I can actually wear this fragrance during the summer, maybe at night or in the days where it's not too hot. Oh, it's so beautiful. So it's pina colada. It has a little bit of pineapple. It has an interesting toffee note, but it's not very in your face. Again, Oliver Crisp did a great job. Like to make the concept of a tropical fragrance so beautifully blended, and nothing is overpowering to my nose. Sweet, but not too much. Tropical, but not too much. Creamy, but not too much. I mean, the perfect blend, in my opinion. One of my absolute favorite tropical fragrances, hands down, and has moderate longevity and sillage. To me, it smells as if you took Alien Goddess and you sprayed a little bit of vanilla vibes from usually it has a gun. It definitely has like a background of vanilla vibes, but mixed with a tropical fragrance like Alien Goddess. I'm just saying the one that comes to my mind. But it could be any of the same vibe, like tropical creamy fragrances, or even fragrances that smell like pina colada, mixed with vanilla vibes. This is how this fragrance smells to me. Now let's talk about the 3 latest releases from the brand and start with Smile. And this is for me the least favorite fragrances from all the brand, and it's so funny because it's actually a fragrance that Oliver Crisp created for his daughter, and then she decided to release it to the public. I don't know, it just I don't know. I would imagine Oliver Crisp creating something more sophisticated for his daughter, to be honest. But anyway, who am I to judge? This is just easygoing but yet generic fruity fragrance. It's raspberry with some aromatic touch and a musky base, and it's not a bad one. It's a very easygoing fragrance, but just not special enough. Even when it comes to longevity, it's quite a light fragrance, so it is weak to moderate when it comes to longevity and sillage. I would definitely enjoy this fragrance if someone gifted me this fragrance, but it's not a fragrance that I would go and buy or even recommend, if that makes any sense. So that was Smile. Now let's get to a very, very interesting fragrance, and it is Infuse. This is a green tea fragrance. And oh, did Oliver Crisp deliver on this one. This smells as if you are taking a bath, you're taking a dive into an extremely heavy green tea infused water. Very, very aromatic. It has a sharpness, it has this green edge. Like, I'm talking about the high quality green tea, the loose one, not like the one in the package. No, we are talking about the high quality one. This is it. And has a little bit of sweetness because there is osmanthus. And the opening, as I said, is like that. But then this fragrance on my skin takes a turn and it becomes a fruity scent. I almost can't see the tea. It's very in the background, and mostly what I get is an osmanthus apricot fragrance. An extremely unique scent. I have also to mention that this is the effect that I have on my skin. Again, on paper, I get the osmanthus apricot, but I get more of the tea. On my skin, the tea almost disappears. If you want a real green tea scent, this is for you, but it may turn to be a fruity one. I don't know. Test this one on your skin. I absolutely adore the dry down, but I am not willing to get a fragrance and I have to go through the opening because I don't like it so much. I don't like this opening. I don't like this very harsh condensed green tea. So this is a fragrance that I would recommend, but I personally would not wear. Totally unisex, absolutely unisex. But the opening is more masculine, the dry down is more feminine. So yeah, for sure, this fragrance you have to test on your skin. Now let's get to the last one, which I would say was the most successful after Rise and Bake, and it is Glow. If you love Spiritus Double Vanille from Gourmand, you will love this one. I have actually a comparison video between the two. I will leave it linked down below where I go into details about the differences, everything regarding these two fragrances. In a nutshell, this is an ambery vanilla fragrance with a hint of spiciness and a hint of smoke. So you get the pink pepper, you get a smoky touch. Especially in the opening, you get a lot of that, but the dry down is less vanillic and more ambery. So you still get the vanilla, but it's more of an ambery fragrance if we compare it with Spiritus Double Vanille from Gourmand, which is a true vanilla fragrance. It has also the smoky touch and also the spicy touch, but it's more vanilla. Here it's more ambery and definitely more unisex compared with that one. This is a gorgeous scent. If you love Spiritus Double Vanille and you are looking for a more affordable fragrance and you are okay with having more of an ambery effect at the end than a vanillic one, this is the best and has better performance. I'm not saying like by much, but it definitely has a better performance and sillage than Spiritus Double Vanille. So this is for me 10 out of 10. If I didn't have Spiritus Double Vanille or I didn't have the money, I would definitely go with Glow 100%. And these were all the fragrances from Acro. Definitely a brand that I am looking forward for every single release they do, even if they are not something that I personally would wear. I enjoy the journey, the concept, how the fragrance artistically is made. The beginning of the brand was more artistic, more intellectual in a way. I don't know how, but I feel like it is. But recently they are more of mass-pleasing scents. So fragrances that still have a little bit of the concept, the initial concept of the brand, but is made more mass-pleasing and also more unisex. So a lot of people could wear it. Maybe a lot of people would be upset by the turn that the brand took recently, But I feel like even if we took the initial concept of the brand, it is very limited. You cannot create a lot. Just being strict to indulgences, vices, I mean, how many are they? I think they covered everything. So for me, it's predictable. They had to take this turn. Anyway, just my opinion. And of course, you can smell the craftsmanship of Oliver Crisp. He is one of my favorite perfumers, hands down. I can see the talent, like how he blends his fragrances. I mean, there are a lot of talented, amazing perfumers or master perfumers who create a very sophisticated, very complex niche-like fragrances. He does the same but still make it totally simple, and it is definitely an art. You can definitely overdo something. He doesn't, especially with his brand. I'm definitely looking forward to more fragrances and every single release, and I would definitely encourage you to try the fragrances from this brand. And there you have it. This is my buying guide on Acro. Please tell me in the comments down below, what is your favorite fragrance from the brand? Which one are you more interested in? And what is your opinion about the brand in general? Looking forward to see your comments down below. I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful. And if you did, please give me a thumb up. That will help me really a lot. And also consider subscribing to my channel if you didn't already. I have a lot of buying guides, which I will leave linked down below, as well as top 10 list and fragrance reviews. Everything will be linked. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao.